Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild. You can see that I have worked more on the color of this ship, or the lack of color, but I like the dark gray, and I've put in some pixel art. I wouldn't call it that way, but it's to have a bit of, at least a bit of color on here. Alex Hudson suggested to do something with that, and he's definitely right about that. I have to see if there's more color needed, but I don't want to go too crazy on that. So what I want to have is the resemblance of the old Empress that was blue, but with a more aggressive look. And you can see that the amount of weapons I've put on here is at the moment. I'm not sure if I should keep that way, but let's say the weapon loadout is impressive right now. So I've put in, oh, what was that again? I've brought EEM back. Maybe that sometimes holds up the game a bit, but the weapon loadout, I've chosen the compact weapons, and I put in a mixture of them with different responsibilities. So again, these small ones are anti-missile systems. Then these are against smaller ships, bigger ships, and stations. These are only against ships, and I did the same with all the weapons around. I still have emplacements for other weapons, and I've tried to give it a good mix-up, kind of. And then I have railguns on here, so 2 in the front. I have a place for 2 in the back. Not sure if I want to put them on there, and I have 2 on the bottom to eventually go at one point, maybe base hunting or something like that. And I also put some weapons on here. Here I had to be a bit it had to be a bit crummy. I'm not sure. I have to maybe cover that up with walkways or with catwalks or something like that, because it doesn't look too crazy good. By the way, I hope you can't hear this. Someone is mowing the lawn out there, and I hope it doesn't come through. On the back, also some weapons here, and then more emplacements here. I hope that works out. Some on the back. There will be some on the front. Most of them anti-missile. Everything else I can hopefully deal with by just moving into place. One thing I want to do today is again try to go into the atmosphere to see how the ship holds up now. And then I have another plan for something completely different. Basically something, and now to something completely different. I need a way to bring materials into ships down here. And one of my community members and one of the scriptures that kind of decided to join my community and make crazy scripts and announce them in my Discord, 00 Fund, kind of went in and made another crane script. And I had the idea to use Marmoes to do this, but maybe we can use his crane script to do what I want to do, to have an arm that I can use to refuel and resupply ships that land in here. And then I don't have to have specific spaces where ships can dock. So a ship could come in here, land on the floor, and then we can go in and refuel it by connecting an arm to it. And that's one thing I want to try later in the episode. I hope that I can figure that out today. It is a bit easier to set up than Marmoes, but it doesn't have so many crazy options. So you cannot make pistons that push up arms or something like that. It's just rotors, pistons, done. And yeah, I want to take a look how I can how I don't know how I can work with that. Hopefully. So the first thing we should do is bring out the ship out of its parking space, and then go over and fly it into the atmosphere. Again, it's a bit of a test to see if this all works out. I hope it works, and I hope we can deal with this. The ship should be relatively maneuverable for such a big ship, and I can only hope that there's enough thrusters on there to keep it up. So you can see that power-wise, I don't know why it goes down to 15 minutes. It should be more. So it, I know what it could be. I know what it could be. The railguns need to load, and it's just 2 megawatts. It's not too much, so I hope that's not our problem. Do I still have batteries on here? Maybe it is that. Oh yeah, I still have batteries. The batteries are the point where it, don't know, it judges power usage on the batteries. So I hope that once I am in atmosphere, I can just see. Now it goes to 2 hours. See how maneuverable that is? It's just great. So I will fly over there, and then we will meet us back in the atmosphere, I would say. So, people, welcome to my new planetary shuttle. Um, Hope you like the design. It's a bit big, but hey, it's a planetary shuttle. We need space in it. Let's make this into one of the cargo drones, and then let this thing come in and refuel the base down here. How crazy. How crazy can we go with a... I think I'm too close to the ground already, so maybe I shouldn't go too crazy on it. Oh, this is the ship is so much bigger than the base. Take a, take a, let us go out and take a look at it. I shouldn't use the jetpack all the time here. Now we are in planetary gravity. That's not a good idea. But you can see they are really firing. Oh, this base is in not so good of a state right now. We really have to clean up here. Okay, let me get a screenshot of this. I like it. I really like that. Good test, I would say. If we need more upthrust, then we maybe can cheat and can not cheat, but put in some of the gravitational manipulators, because these things I can hide somewhere inside of the hull. So that should be absolutely enough then. When we are in space, I will, by the way, do another fly around the ship, because you can see that I made the bottom of the hull, I made it black. It's the same as the big blue has. So the bottom again is just nearly all black, and then we have the white stripe on top, the space invaders on the side. some stripes. I really like that. I really like that. And again, it would be absolutely... See, now the number's going up, so we can stay here for 4 hours. I really like that. It's a thing we might have to boost a bit, so it would be nice to, in the end, have more than 4 hours here. Being able to just hover above the surface, something like that. Really, it's kind of imposing. It's an imposing view. I like that. Good. Okay, that's clear. We can definitely do that. Don't know, maybe we could put some landing gears on the bottom and then just land that thing. But it's easier to have. It's easier to have a small shuttle that can do that, and that's one of the next things we will bring back. Ooh, okay. See that? There's not a lot of room anymore when it comes to upthrust. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not so good to completely go into the atmosphere with that thing. The Empress is not made for this. Just not made for this. Okay, let us go back to the base, and then I will start building something else. Again, this ship still needs work, but most of the work I can, is kind of stuff that I can just show off in the end, because it is putting up doors, putting up walls, all that stuff. And I don't know, if that's something you want to see, you will have to let me know. But most of the stuff is that, and then maybe go a bit into the interior design. We could, the hyperdrive is one thing I want to set up, because I saw that, don't know, I had to fly the 120 kilometers now from, or 100 kilometers back to base, and that is not too cool. If I could jump 60 kilometers of that, would be maybe nicer. Good. Okay, let me go back to the base. I will dock that ship up again, and then we will do something else. I finally brought her into her dock, and so this is where she can sit now, and we can still work on her. I thought keeping her in the front would make everything easier, but it's just not. So I can remove this now and think about a way how I want to have docks for the smaller ships and for the ships I still have here. So that's maybe a better way to deal with all this than to have the Empress sit in front of there. The dock works, so this part works. There's still no air in this part. That needs to change. And then again, I need a nice way to put in the hyperdrive. I'm switching between having it somewhere here in the front or in the top part, and switching having it somewhere in the back part. So these lines, by the way, are hooked up now, so they go all through the ship to the back, and I have them hooked up here, and I have them hooked up in the middle room there. So again, I might have some cabins or something like that here, and then there is still the back part I don't really know what to do with, so maybe putting the hyperdrive in back here would be a good decision. So I will work on that. I will work on that. It's every time there's so much left to do with the whole, don't know, building one of these ships in that size. It's just, I don't know, when you're finished with the outside, then comes the interior, and now that there is a lot more options to decorate the interior, I don't know what to do. It's just crazy. It's nice. having two ships sit here, it's just cool. I think I can deal with the sim speed when it comes to having these big ships sitting here waiting for their turn to, don't know, shoot anything into rubble that comes too close to us. Something like that. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But now I want to go in and do maybe some work with the crane or something like that. So I have wrote down what 00 Fund has set up on his page. So the first thing I want to do is have a programmable block. And then we need some advanced rotors, pistons. Oh yeah, I brought in some modded pistons. So if the sizes are too crazy, I can maybe change some of the things out here. So that might be a good thing to have. So I have these 1x1 pistons and I think a 5-meter piston. So I brought that in to deal with the whole ramp inside of the Empress. And again, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out a good way to do a ramp there. Again, if someone of you has an idea for that or has a good solution for that, then please let me know. That would be amazing. So I want to raise the roof a bit. So we will have a section here that I will raise. Maybe 2 blocks so that I have enough space for the whole thing. And then we will put in a conveyor junction. And I hope that I don't need too many pistons, that I can get around with just having maybe 2 pistons and the rotors sitting here. That hopefully is enough. This stuff needs to go, although I brought in another mod. I don't know if I showed that off. I brought in a mod that Splitsy inspired me to install. That's a mod by Diggy. It gives you light controls. So it puts basically terminal controls onto lights. And so it's a bit easier to control the lights. So I think, yeah, 1, 2 blocks. So we will go from here. Have this as the top. Maybe we can offset that a bit. Have a conveyor junction here, and then connect that up to the system. And then now the thing is that I don't completely know how he wants to have that set up. So what I will do here is I will test it, and I'm pretty sure that I will make errors here. So don't go and so I will not go and say the script is at fault for anything here. So maybe, oh, okay, no, stay. The script is at fault for anything here. It mostly will be my fault. I'm pretty sure. So, rotors. He has 2 different ways to set that up. So the first thing that we should do is put in the script, and hopefully it runs on its own. Crane control by 00 Fund. Oh, that's so nice. That's in there. I've written that down, but because I was kind of prepared to check the code. That's successful. And now we need to name things. So, advanced rotor 2. This thing should be... let me reload my battery. The survival kits are so slow when it comes to that. It's aggravating. But I think they made that deliberately. Advanced rotor 2. So this will be in a group that will be A and D. So crane move AD. Now I should be able to control that with A and D. So I will have to test that with the cockpit. And the good thing is we set that up as groups. So if we want to add anything into that, we can just put it into that group. So then we have the advanced rotor, this one. This is just the advanced rotor. Okay, and I want to put that into a group I can steer with the mouse. Hopefully. I'm testing that out here. Advanced rotor. It's this one. We will go and, by the way, name all these things accordingly. This will be crane. Oh no, we could. Maybe we have to rename that, but crane, turn, and then LR, left, right, save that, and then we go and this one goes into crane 2, and let us see what the system does if we are sitting down in a control seat. I have this, so can remove this for now, and we will call this the crane cockpit. As far as I know, that's the way how to name this thing then. Come on, weld that up, please. Weld that up. Come on. Okay, thank you. This is crane cockpit. And we should be able to... Okay, that doesn't work. So maybe I have done something wrong. So let us see. Do I need to run this? Maybe. So by the way, the other one, the crane group, this is wrong. This would be up and down. So I need to rename that. UD. Save. Hello? Oh, come on. Delete this. Why is there... okay, that's... Or does it take longer to react? I'm pretty sure I'm doing something wrong here. Let me look that up again. Maybe I can even contact him. We will have to see. Good, let me check that. to 00 Fund, I realized that I'm the one that didn't read the instructions correctly. So he he made this thing without the E, and I have put the E in the back here. So he didn't use the right English word, and I didn't listen to his instructions. So he also gave me the newest version of the whole script. So that's the thing. Or not the newest version. He made changes while we talked. So, but I figured out that my whole setup here might be too big for its own. Yeah, too big for its own sake. So we will remove some things. I tested that out, and now, by the way, it works. I will remove this stuff, and this will stay. Hopefully the reach of the piston is enough. The moment it's really simple, and let us put in a lamp so we can see what we are doing here. So G, this will come in later. Do I have some lights here? By the way, I can show you the other mod that I have brought in here, and so we can see that there's a terminal connection now, so I can go in and then immediately change the radius, and so we have some more light. Good. If we sit down now, everything is named correctly now, and that's what we see here now. So you can see that things change on here. So that's a good thing. So we can move that thing up and down now, and that's something I will change. So, and we can move it left or right and left now. So that's really, really neat. What I want to do now is have this piston move in and out. So we will call that crane. And then put it into the group. What would that be? WS. So what we need to do is use let me explain, just so nobody thinks. In Germany, and 00 Fund is a German too, so in Germany a crane is called Kran, and then it is written with Kran, and so that's why there is no E in there. But I immediately assumed it would be crane with the E, and so that's wrong. And by the way, just so you know, and I will link that in the description, the newest version is fixed. So that's Fund is not only good with the server, he is providing a server for the community, or lets some of the people from the community play on there, and that's one thing. He also kind of works really fast. We'll change them. It's changed. It's already corrected, and I think he said he uploaded the new version already. So all of you that want to use this can use it with the correct spellings and with all this stuff. So this should be now W and S. Yes. So with this we can now go in and okay, well, I want to change something. This rotor here, the advanced rotor crane, it is basically the let us go and take a look. It is the up and down with the mouse. That's the one I want to change to UD move. So not turn, but move, because then I can use the up and down movement with the keyboard to move that up and down. And now I need to okay. Can is completely wrong. So this always messes up the groups. So now I have the move UD and the turn UD can I can delete that. I will later have that again because I want to put this rotor into that group. So advanced rotor, the advanced rotor there. Let us go in and find that advanced rotor, and it must be this one. Advanced rotor crane 2, and this is the just to know which one of it is which, just to have that, because this is already called advanced rotor and that's the second one in the whole line. So, and this one will go into the can turn UD. Then I can steer that with the mouse. So I hope I can get used to that. He said I could also have a camera on there. So that's maybe a thing we should add. A camera to the whole thing. 4. I don't want to have too big of a connection thing in here. So I will park the ships relatively close to each other, and then we hopefully are good with the reach of that thing. Otherwise, we can add more rotors, and I will move this thing away and maybe have the cockpit on here. Fun says you can have the cockpit just everywhere, basically, as long as it is. Ooh, now the question is it this one? Nope. Then which one is it? Camera. Is it this one? Yes, it is. Ooh, see, we can already use that. Nice. So with this thing, we can now go in and refuel ships. Whatever ship comes in here, we can go in and say, wrong button. I'm always fascinated that at one point I get that to run somehow. even if I need to call in help from the guy that made the script. So okay, we have a lot of space, I have the feeling, for this all. So this should work. Okay, we can move the bottom part, and if we would want that, we could also go in and make the whole thing a lot faster. So there's an option in the script to just have crazy fast pistons, crazy fast rotors. Maybe we also should put in lights or something like that. But that should be definitely good to go. So right, left, then you can see the piston on the, or not the piston, you can see the rotor on the bottom working, and then we can pull the whole thing back in, bring it up, and have it out of the way, kind of. That's neat. We talked about maybe adding an auto lock function that would work as soon as another connector is close to it, it will lock. And if you move it away from the ship or from the connector, it will automatically unlock. That would be nice too. So this whole thing is still worked on, and I will definitely keep you up to date with the script. This thing is just it doesn't have the complexity and the crazy things you can do with MarmOS. But if you just want to have a really small, don't know, welding arm or a small connecting arm or a small whatsoever arm, this thing is definitely something you can work with. And I'm limiting my options here. There's more options. You can bind the roll keys to it. You can bind a lot of keys to it. And don't know, Fun said he could add more buttons. But for now, it's really not really necessary. So we could steer the whole thing with the mouse. We could steer the whole thing with the WASD functions, and I think that's really good enough for now. There's crazy ideas. We could do some more crazy stuff with the scripts now, and I think we should. So. We will see what else we can come up with. At the moment, I'm missing a ship that I could test that with. So if we design something that shuttles, don't know, people back and forth, we might want to go with something with a connector on the top. So we can bring this ship in for now and then maybe see if it connects up well, and if that all works well, then stop it. This ship is crazy powerful when it comes to flying forwards, and when it comes to flying to the sides, not so good. And we don't have any landing gears on here, so that's something we might want to put in before we test the whole crazy contraption. So we might want to I think I will put some don't know, squares on the bottom to give the pilots an indication where to land. That might be a good idea. I removed one mod from the pack, that's the MA pocket gears, and that was the only ship that still used it. So that's kind of gone now, but I have to say I'm not too I'm not too angry about it that it is gone. So we will put some, for now, some normal landing gears on here, and then come on, is that the right orientation? Is it? I think this is... Nope, it's not. So let us turn that around. And then maybe put some on the back too. Okay, when these are done, we land the ship, lock it down, and maybe put just a test connector on the bottom, on the top, just to see if we are able to connect it up. Let me go in and this, save it as here, turn the autolock off, save. And then we just go in and throw this stuff out. This stuff, put in the gear group to switch the lock. So I hope that works out. I hope that works out well enough. the whole crane concept would also work on Mars. We at the moment have the whole MarmOS system set up there to reload our ships. But maybe this, not the ships, the rovers, but this would also be a nice working system. And maybe for the big mining machine, it is maybe a bit easier to use, or not easier to use. Maybe it's a bit easier to on the whole. At the moment, we have this whole contraption there on the side of the mining machine, and maybe we can reduce the footprint of the connecting system a bit if we just okay, how can we do that? If we just go with a system like this. Okay, this cockpit, and I will remove this one. Fun says there is no double naming stuff, so if I have a crane cockpit on here, I need to remove this one. So finish this. Finish it. Come on, finish it. So we can sit down and then call this crane cockpit. Okay, this should be good. Yeah, it is good. It works nicely. So there's the, you can see that it uses the cockpit screens. Ooh, first try. First try. But we're kind of at the limit of the whole thing. So no, we still have a fair bit of space here to hook that up. So that's pretty nice. And we could always go and take a look through the camera. So let me find the camera crane. Let's put it here, and if we would like to see it, we could also see it here. We have to be a bit careful, otherwise we scrape the paint like crazy. Now I would need the connect. Ooh, we're so man, it's a perfect fit here. Let us name this thing Crane 2. And then we can just maybe lock that down from here. All blocks. Connector. Crew. Can we connector crane? Yes. And then just go to 3, switch lock. And now the ship could be refueled if it had liquid batteries, normal batteries, or used reactors or something like that. Maybe I will also put a light on here to have a bit of light when it comes to all of that. Really, really nice. Yeah, thanks, Fund. That's just great. I really, really like to work with that. Good. People, I don't know how long we did for now. I think I will look that up and then come back to you. And then I think we might have to end the episode. But one thing we might need is now a way to up there. So not sure how to do that. At the moment, flying is the easiest way. Don't know. We could also have the connector somewhere down here or something like that. This seems to be a lot easier to see where you're going with the whole thing. I really like that. That's a great thing, and when you understand it and don't make any errors, I think a bit easier to set up than MarmOS. But again, MarmOS has a bit more, has some other cooler things with these pistons that you can move arms with and all that stuff. That's really, really cool. But for people that don't need all that crazy stuff, this is really, really great. Yeah, fun. Thanks you for helping. That's thank you for helping. Great that you were around to just be able to help me out with this. Let me take a look at the time, and then I might have to end the episode here. I'm going on for far too long, so I will end it here. We are over 50 minutes now. That's not good. I will have to see where I can cut a bit and all that stuff. Oh, people. Good. I would say thanks for watching. Hope you liked the episode. Bit, don't know, random stuff, but this thing is really nice. And that the ship is good for atmosphere too. So, yeah. Yeah, thanks for watching again. Hope you liked the episode. If you did, then please leave a like on the video. That helps me out a bunch. If you're new here, then consider subscribing. Take a look at the description. There's links to Twitter, Patreon, and the link to my Discord community. So, yeah, maybe we can see us there. Good, people. I would say see you in the next episode. See ya, guys.